Okay, guys, so today we're going to review time. Now, I know we got a little bit into it when we discussed the school unit. We talked about the time like your class may start. Um, so today we're going to be going over a little bit time a little bit more in depth. So to follow along with your vocab sheet. So the question that we're going to be asking ourselves, ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es means what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? And now your response to that question would be son las, and then the number. Son las dos. Son las tres. Son las cuatro. Son las cinco. Son las means it is. Son las cinco. It is 5 o'clock. Now, there's one exception to this, and this is the words es la. Es la una means it is 1 o'clock. We use es la only when we're talking about the number 1, about 1 o'clock. So 2 to 12, we use son las, and es la is only for 1. Es la una. That would be the only phrase you would have with es las. Everything else would be son las. And then a little bit more in depth, we have menos, which is minus. Menos. Media, which is half. Media, half or 30 minutes. And then cuarto, which is a quarter or 15 minutes. So we have son las 2:30. It is 2 and 30 minutes, it means it's 2:30. Okay, so we have menos, which is minus, media, which is half, and a cuarto, which is a quarter. And these will, come more naturally to us once we start practicing them. Then we have, to be a little bit more specific of the time of day, we have de la mañana. De la mañana means in the morning. De la mañana, in the morning. De la tarde. De la tarde, in the afternoon. And then we have de la noche, in the nighttime. De la noche, in the nighttime. We've seen these before when we said buenas noches, good night. Buenas tardes, good afternoon. Mañana means morning. Okay, so back to the question, we have ¿Qué hora es? This clock is telling us son las 10. According to this clock, it is 10 o'clock. Okay, this is a 10th hour. Son las 10. It is 10. Son las 10. It is 10 o'clock. The next one. Son las 5:10. Son las 5:10. Remember what we said when we talk about time, we have the hour, the word and then the minutes. So because 10 means 10, it is saying it is 5:10. And we can see that on the clock as well. It is 5:10. The next one. Son las 8:15. Son las 8:15. Cuarto is 15 minutes. Okay, so it is 8:15. It is 8:15. Son las 3:30. Son las tres it is 3:30 is, remember we said it was half, so it's 3:30 because half of an hour is 30 minutes, so it's 3:30 is 3 and 30, which is 3:30. The next one. Es la una. Remember, because we are saying it's only one, it's es la una. And this is the only time that we would be using es la when we talk about one. Es la una, it is one. Son las 10:20. Son las 10:20. Menos means minus. So we have 10 minus 20. 10 o'clock minus 20 minutes brings us to 9:40. So your answer for this is, it is 9:40 or 10 minus 20. Son las 10:20. It is 10 minus 20 minutes. So 10 o'clock minus 20 minutes brings us to 9:40. Son las 7:45. 7 menos cuarto, 7 minus 15. So it brings us to 6:45. 7 menos cuarto, 7 minus 15. 6:45. It is 6:45. Okay, now 12 o'clock. We can say son las 12. Son las 12. It is 12. Another word for that is es medianoche. It is midnight. Es medianoche. It is midnight. We can also say son las 12. It is 12. Okay, now let's practice. Okay, so here we have this number is 9, so is telling us it's the 9th hour. So we would say son las 9. Son las 9. Son las 9. It is 9 o'clock. Now you see this is pointing directly to 6, so we want to say it is 6. We would say son las 6. It is 6. Son las 6. It is 6. Okay, now the next one. The hour hand is pointing to the 2, and this is pointing to 30, so you want to say a half. So it would be son las 2:30. It is 2.5. Son las 2:30. Okay, now the next one. Okay, so the hour is pointing to 1, so we know it's not going to be son las, but it's going to be es la. The minute hand is pointing to 15, which we know instead of saying 15, we could say cuarto. So we have 1 and 15. That is, es la 1:15. Es la 1:15. It is 1 and 15, 1:15, or a quarter of an hour, which is 15 minutes. The next one. Son las 3:10. 10 minutos, 10 minutes. Son las 3:10. It is 3:10. Son las 11:25. 25 is right here. These are my minutes. 11 is my hour. Son las 11:25. It is 11:25. Okay, now we go into menos. Now, menos is used when the minute is past 30. So whenever the minute falls on this side of the clock, it is used for menos. So right here we have son las 7:05. It is 7 minus 5 minutes. 7 o'clock minus 5 minutes is 6:55. So whenever the minute falls on this side of the clock, we're going to refer to menos, meaning I know it's 6, I know it's in the 6 o'clock range. However, because it's closer to 7 o'clock than it is to 6 o'clock, we are going to say 7. So we're kind of rounding if you think about it that way. We're rounding that 6:55 is closer to 7 than it is to 6. And because of that, we have to do a little subtraction, which we get 7 menos 5. Okay, and we will review this in practices, so it will be a little easier to you. But remember, we always have to round. Again, 6:55 is closer to 7 than it is to 6. So this is why we're using 7. And then, okay, and the next one. Son las 2 menos cuarto. Son las 2 menos cuarto. So 2 menos cuarto means 2 minus a quarter of an hour or 15 minutes. So 2 minus 15. What is 2 o'clock minus 15 minutes? We know it's going to be 1. So it's 1:45. This clock is showing you 1:45. But because menos works on this side of the clock and the minute is on this side of the clock, then we are going to use the menos rule. So we round up. Is 1:45 closer to 1 or closer to 2? 1:45 is closer to 2. So that's why we have dos. 2 menos cuarto is 1:45. We use menos, again, when the time that we want to say in Spanish is close, meaning if it was 2:45, I would round up on the 2 and bring that to a 3. And then from 2:45 to 3 o'clock leaves me with 15 minutes. And that is where you get your minutes from.